Everybody, tomorrow is the day. And this video ain't about who to vote for, it ain't about the parties, it ain't about the manifestos, it ain't about the candidates, it ain't about nothing so. This video is to help you prepare for what you gotta do tomorrow. Those of you who do this already and those of winner who never do this yet. Take a listen to this video and you'll get an idea of what you're supposed to do and not do. There we go. And by the way, as per usual, I gotta say, everything shared here is factual and non-partisan. A researcher myself. So, that. Lovelies, welcome. I am Zana. This is my platform, Bajans.net, and this is an episode of Let Me Call It We Base Story, and today we can focus about the process about what's going to be happening tomorrow. This space is focused on clarity and context and base stories and civic and understanding, everything around Bajan issues and Bajan circumstances, Bajan culture and thing, coming from a lay person, me. All the one that has always come and watch, I want to thank you so much. And I really do appreciate that you take your time to subscribe and like and comment and all that sort of thing. I see all the comments. I was trying to respond. I'm very sorry if I didn't get to yours yet, but believe you me, I see them. Is my one only. But yeah, I see him and I do appreciate you so much. Your dialogue matters so much more than all the noise that's going on right now. So thank you. So I'm sure you are aware that with elections, there could be a whole bunch of noise, assumptions, and last minute confusion. We don't want that. Today, I want to slow things down a little bit and focus on the actual process and not the politics. I think it's very important for me to repeat that. So whether you're voting for the first time or you vote every single election or you're still deciding if you can vote, this is simply about being informed. And I hope this brings some level of comfort, reduction in anxiety in preparation for tomorrow. The polling day is Wednesday, 11th of February, 2026. Now this video going up on the 10th, so therefore that is tomorrow. In case you didn't know, you did living under a rock. So the polling stations open at 6 a.m. and they close at 6 p.m. And if you are in line by 6 p.m., you are still entitled to vote. So the point is to get to the polling stations before the cutoff time. All right? All right. Voting is done by secret ballot, meaning that you go into a booth and you do your thing, and I can get to all the gadgets and things that you're supposed to or not supposed to carry in to the voting place because it is a secret ballot. All these schools are going to be closed on polling day. Now, this is because many of the polling stations are located in schools. I remember when I did go to school, that exact same thing did happen. It was a really interesting and, for me, an exciting day, but yeah. The closures allow voting to take place without disruption, and that's what you need, and the security and the secrecy, I guess, as well. Other institutions and businesses may close for the day, they may operate at reduced hours, or they may allow employees time off to vote. If you are unsure about your workplace or your institution, go and check directly with them because I don't know nothing. So don't come back and say that Zana said this or Bajans.net said this or Let Me Call It We say. I did not tell you that. Go and check for one yourself. You hear what I tell you? Good. So remember I did talk about the secret voting. So I come in now to the things that you can and cannot bring to the polling station. Mobile phones, smart watches, smart pens, communication devices in total are not allowed inside the polling booth. I am going to repeat myself. Any kind of communication device whatsoever, like smartphones, smart watches, or smart pens, and other things, iPad, tablet, all the things, not allowed inside the polling booth because it is a secret ballot. That's the point of it. These items are usually left at the desk and collected on exit. So even if you got them on your person because you probably come from work, you have them on you and you can't really leave them in car, you would have them, but they will be confiscated at the door and then given back to you when you leave in. All right? Just as long as you know. Good. This rule exists to protect ballot secrecy, security, and all the things. And this applies to every single person. So don't think that you exempt from this. It applies to everybody. So what you need to vote? You must be registered. You remember that registrants list? I did mention it in a short recently. The 26th of January is the deadline to submit applications to register to vote or to transfer your registration. For example, if you have moved constituencies, that is the official cutoff before registration closes for this election cycle. After the 26th, claims and objections to the preliminary voters list can still be filed. Deadline 28th of January. So that out, you should have been on that list in order to vote. And you have to vote in your assigned constituency. So if you moved recently and you didn't go back to check to make sure that you're in the right constituency to vote, or that it didn't change in the list, then unfortunately you can't go just turn up at some polling station and think that you could vote. It don't work. So you will be guided by voting officials upon arrival. So you go to the place, they guide you as to what you're meant to be doing. If you have any questions about where to vote, what identification is required, or accessibility support, the best place to check out is the Electoral and Boundaries Commission. I got the website address right here, but you can also see it either in the description or in the comment section. Now that site contains the polling station locations, the constituency maps, the voter information, and the official notices and forms. If it is not on that site, it is not official. I already made a video about that. I am going to link it here as well. You can see it up in the corner. Go and check that if you want a little rundown of how the Electoral and Boundaries Commission website plays a role in this electoral process. So, you know them observers that get sent in and things like that. So, the observers, one, don't run the election. Actually, I did make a video about that. Listen to this a second. CARICOM election observers are in Barbados, but they are not there to run the election. Oh no. They are in Barbados to watch the process. And they're going to meet with police, media, churches, election officials, and political leaders to understand the election environment. On polling day, they don't supervise, they observe. They're watching the opening of the polling stations, the voting itself, and the counting of ballots and the declaration of the results. So what are they actually checking? They're not checking who wins. They're checking whether the election is fair, of utmost importance. And one of the most important parts of that is not the ballot box, it is the voters register. Because if your name is not on the register, you cannot vote at all. And that is why the register is open for public inspection as of the 9th of Feb. Election day is the last step of democracy, but the voters list is the first. Right. So the observers do not run the election, just to say again. They don't count the votes. They don't interfere with nothing. So they are present to observe the process and not to manage it. They are there to make sure that the process is fair. Okay, the election itself is administered by the Electoral and Boundaries Commission. Now, when it comes to the evening, now after everything done, and then start them counting, don't expect results during the day. You gotta wait. The counting does happen after the polls close, all right? Delays don't automatically mean that there are problems. If one did have interest in the previous elections, you know that it is work out like that. Sometimes some of them delayed for whatever reasons, some of them just come quick, whatever the case may be, but it doesn't mean that there's problems. They usually mean that there's verification and precision and it's going like how it's supposed to go. Of course, we have the added layer now of the observers and their process and thing. But remember that they don't get into the link or anything. They're just observing the thing. I need to reiterate that. That is what has been said. I am just taking it from what I see in the news and thing. The whole fact of the matter is that patience is part of the democratic process. We need to have patience, not only with that system, but we need to have it with each other as well. I kind of hint at that in quite a few videos already. But yes, that. So again, I say for official election information, visit ebc.gov.bb. That is the Electoral and Boundaries Commission website. You can go there for all your information and for explanatory videos and context from a layperson, me. You can check out my Educate Yourself Barbados Election 2026 playlist here on YouTube. But I'm also releasing the full election season videos across IG and TT so that you can access them there as well. I'm doing that because I think it's really important for everybody to have access to all the information. Not saying that you don't normally supposed to have access anyway, but this is an extra special time where you're literally creating your beige story, right? So yeah, they are wrong. One thing I need to say after all of that long talk is that voting is a right. It's an actual right. It's not an obligation. It's a right. There are people upon whose shoulders we stand that were not able to do this. And remember, it's only in the 50s that we were given the right to vote. Barbados. Choosing to vote is a choice, and choosing not to vote is also a choice. That's all up to you. And people will vote differently. It doesn't mean that you're supposed to go and make enemies because people vote differently. All right. We need to remember that this is a democracy. In the end, whoever gets in, what we want is that systems work for we Bajans, regardless of where we got we feet at the moment. This is for all of we. Always remember that respect is required before, during, and after the polling day. Yeah? That matters. Whatever you decide to do tomorrow, vote informed, vote calmly, and please vote respectfully. Democracy works best when people understand the process. I said that before, not just the moment. This is not just about we, but it's about our children and our children's children. This is our base story, and we have a part to play in it.